Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morgan Monroe State Forest. It is another beautiful sun. I started to say beautiful. It started out beautiful. I got up this morning. I kind of looked out the window. I see blue skies, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I can set up outdoors on the back of the Bronco. Got the antenna situation figured out. We'll talk about that one here in a minute, but I was going to do that, but of course, being the Boy Scout that I am, and I go and look at the weather app, and I'm seeing thunderstorms, for like every hour, but it's only about a 20% chance of rain. I'm like, well, I don't know. So I open up the full radar app, and I see this whole string of storms stretching from at the point when I was looking at it, like central Illinois, all the way through, I don't know, back into Missouri, and they're all heading my direction. And I'm like, I'm not going to set the gear up because it'll be my luck. It will rain, and last thing I want to do is actually have some problems with the equipment before I go. So we're here. I'm back in the truck, not by choice, of course, but we'll be getting the park activated. I don't know what the bands look like today. I know last night I was activating, and I was on 40, and it was not a whole lot of people. It's still early, and then all of a sudden the NAQP, the North American QSO Party, people jumped in, and I had some poor operator. That's probably the best way to put it. Drop in about 500 500 cycles, so half a kc below me, and must have been running so much power that I don't know how he couldn't have heard me, but you know what? So be it. It is what it is. I still activated the park. I'm not upset about that. I just find it a little frustrating. It wasn't that there wasn't a open space. There 40 wasn't still that busy. I was looking at the waterfall. I had the 7300 Mark II out, so I could see the waterfall, and wasn't the best, but definitely plenty of free space in there to operate without stacking up on top of each other at the time. So going through here, George, good morning from stormy Virginia. He's out wrenching on a couple Jeeps today. He'll be with us, but he's going to be holding the wrench and not the microphone. But awesome. Have fun with that. Robert's checking in this morning. Good morning, Robert. Let's go Huntsville. I am so excited. I almost wanted to take off earlier this weekend, and but I told my wife that I'd stick around. We got, obviously 2 kids at home and all kinds of things like that. And she would have probably said go, but I just wanted to make sure that, things like the yard's done and stuff. So I was out taking care of those kind of things, since I'm going to be gone for more than a week, not like super long, but I'll be gone for 8 days. And, so I at least wanted to get the yard taken care of and stuff like that. So I'm taking off probably early tomorrow morning, which I don't know if you can see behind me here. I've got some of the totes. I've picked up a few of those totes, and I'm not sure they're the wider ones. They're longer, and my thought process is, I'll put the stuff in there I need. Like an electrical one. I'll do one for camping gear, the little nicky-nacky crap, the lights and the things like that, the conveniences that you have when you're camping. And then ideally these will all stack on a shelf in the garage, so I can come and go with these things and do that. So working out that system right now. So like I said, I've got one for electrical stuff. So extension cords. I picked up one of those 50 amp to 30 amp. I think that's what it is. It's one of the adapters that plugs into the pedestals at the campsite, and it'll break it out into a 15. I think it's a 15 and 20. So maybe it's a 30 amp connector, and then it breaks it out into three outlets that are the both that do the 15 20 amp combo connectors, and that'll give me three to peel out from there. And then I think the pedestal also has a standard 15 amp, home style type receptacle. And so that should give me enough power on the campsite. Normally I'm by myself, so I don't need a whole lot of power, just enough to power a radio and my conveniences there and charging and stuff like that. But I got Jimmy is going to camp out with me. I think it's K5 PRK radio. Jimmy will be camping in the site, so we're got a little bit more extra power feed. And on top of that, if you guys are going to be there at Monte Sano throughout the week camping, I've got a nice coffee pot, an electric one. It's a thermal one, so it it's brews and runs its business, and then the pot keeps the coffee warm. So I'm going to have coffee going every morning. Stopped and picked up disposable cups and things like that yesterday at Sam's Club. So it'll be there if you're camping and want coffee in the morning. It's hot, fresh. May not be great, but it's hot and it's fresh. Definitely meet Navy standards. So that will be there. So Mike checking in this morning. Whiskey One Uniform Hotel Foxtrot checking in from New Hampshire this morning. Good morning, Mike. Jason Lockwood checking in this morning. Good morning, Jason. Robert checking in this morning from New Jersey. Good morning, Robert. Jakester from Jakester Wis, I'm assuming from Wisconsin. Good morning. 45 Auto checking in this morning. Good morning. Seth good checking in this morning. Kilo Whiskey 9 Romeo Alpha Sierra. Good morning, Seth. Hayden checking in. VK4NU checking in. I'm assuming from VK land. So good morning. Or I said good afternoon there, maybe. And Levi checking in this morning. Good morning, Levi. So big things this week if you are going to be at Huntsville. If you've, I'm assuming, have seen Kyle's streams over the last couple weeks, but we are doing the YouTubers Cookout. Let me get the right screen here. So there will be the cookout today. Big thing, 211 registered people so far. And I'm not sure. I think Kyle made some modifications to this when you register. If you're going to be, additional people here. So if you're bringing some plus ones, if it's going to be you and your spouse or you and your kids, it depends. Not that's not the issue. But make sure if you are doing this, get your plus ones in there. If you've already registered previously and you're bringing some extra people where it was just, you check the box, or hadn't checked the box yet, or this wasn't in there, go back and modify that registration. You can do that, update it, and that will help solidify the count for hamburgers and hot dogs. So he's basically accounting for one hamburger, one hot dog for every person. There'll be some extras. Obviously, if you don't register, you're not going to get turned away. There'll be food there. Because there's 211 registered folks right now. I know Kyle has done is going to be doing some crowd control. I think that's the best way to do it, or food control. It's a lot of people to get through a line and get fed. So he's going to, I think, send out all the QR codes again later in this week. And I believe, and if you haven't done it already, get registered ASAP. I know at some point, I think he said Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, somewhere in there, he's shutting off the registration. And that way he can get a hard count. And then let's see here. Yeah, he was going to shut it down. Oh, then he's going to send everybody their QR code again. And also there's going to be a number that's attached to it. And basically it's going to be a group. So you'll be in group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. And then that way that's going to help do the crowd control. I know at one point he had talked about using like your call region, like, I'm in 9 call or whatever. The problem with that is there's no, one could have, the 9s could have 150 of the 200, people there. So I think he's doing that. And so look for that stuff in there. Also, once again, if you signed up earlier, this page has added some changes. So if you can bring things, coolers, which I'm planning to bring. I got a big giant Coleman cooler that I'm going to bring. And actually, I got I borrowed. I didn't buy it, but I borrowed one of them things that you put in your receiver on the back, the basket, so you can add stuff out the backside. So I am going to be using that on the way down. I'm not sure about on the way. I'm sure I'll have it on the way up too, where I'll put the cooler and the loose stuff and things like that. I'm just going to strap it down and put it on the back of the Bronco. Upside of that is that I don't have room for it in here, so it's out of the truck. Downside is that if I need to get in the back end on my drive down, I'm going to have to take it off, which ideally it's going to be light stuff in there. So it probably won't be that big of a deal, but nonetheless, it'll be more of a pain. And once again, you start unloading stuff while you're somewhere along the way, you run the risk of forgetting to put it back in. Kind of like I did with my mast and everything over here the other couple of weeks ago. So if you can bring those things and everything, get those added in here so it can get accounted for and just help make a better event. Parking is going to be an issue. There's no getting around that. And the first 30 people, 45 people can't plug up the entire parking lot. So it is a public parking lot, which is kind of problematic. So anybody that would want to come up there and use it for the trail system or whatever is there. So it's kind of a first come, first serve. Want to make sure that if you're, and I'm just going to use the word able-bodied, if you're able to walk, park away, just walk in, leave those spaces available. There's a couple designated handicap parking spots in the lot up by the pavilion. it's only a couple. So ideally, would like to keep as many spots up close as possible for people who are have problems walking, wheelchairs, some form of device. So if you need to drive in, drop stuff off, I'll talk to Kyle. Maybe we can get a group of people there that can help get the stuff out of your car, get it away from the thing so you can go and park. Obviously, if you need to drop people off, and if you want to park a little bit further away, and maybe you need a ride in, we'll see if we can coordinate something to get some kind of a shuttle service to speed that up, so you're not having to walk so far. It's gonna be a lot of people, and it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna have fun. So that's that in a nutshell. There are some options in here if you need to get your QR code reset, update what you're bringing. If you want to join a volunteer team, if you want to help cook out, run the grill, manage the things, help get people through the line, all that stuff. Kyle's got some links in there for you to get scheduled for that. There's a parking map in there, and once again, there's all the area around the thing. So the road down to the cabins and all that stuff is good to park on, pull off to the side of the road. They were talking about parking in instead of parallel parking along the road, maybe coming in at an angle, a 45-degree angle, to allow more cars in the slot. But I don't know what the sides of the road look like, so be careful when you do that. Dave says in here, Kyle's turning off signups Tuesday night as well. So yes. Got Kilo Quebec 4, Yankee November. George checking in from Georgia. Shane checking in. Adventures in blind videography. Shane had a great problem last night. A technical, challenging one with his. He's trying to get a APRS droid set up with a DigiRig and his VR6 something, one of the Yaesu things. So if anybody's got any experience with that combination, is going to be there Wednesday at the cookout, or I'm sorry, Friday at the cookout. I'm sure Shane would love some assistance on that. I know he's been trying to get that set up. Dave checking in this morning. Good morning, Dave. Ham radio with Kilo Echo 0, Mike Alpha Delta. Sean, I believe. Sean's checking in from Missouri, and I think he's in Missouri. Yeah. Whoop, hey now. Cooley checking in from the Gulf Shores this morning, so he's already down south. Cooley's like, I'm here to party. All right, Shane says it's the VX6R. So Droid Star, DigiRig, and the VX6R. So Julie checking in this morning. Good morning, Julie. Says she says they are on the way to the park. So good morning, Julie. Teddy checking in this morning. Good morning. See you in Alabama next weekend. Whiskey Alpha 4, Tango Echo Delta. I tell you what, I hear Teddy saying that in my head. The way he calls off his call sign. So, and Kilo 4, Papa Whiskey India checking in from Boise, Idaho this morning. Good morning. Cooley says he's on vacation with his siblings. Are you making it over to the Ham Fest, or are you just staying down there in Gulf Shores? So the second big thing of the Ham YouTubers Cookout is it is a fundraiser. It is a fundraiser to raise funds for youth in amateur radio. Last year, after the cost of the supplies and food and everything for the camp out, there was a $6,400 donation made to the Teachers Institute from the league, which is a great thing. And in that program, I can't remember what Steve Goodgame said the actual cost was per teacher. And in their scenario, they would bring teachers out to Connecticut, put them up for a week, get them in a classroom or a makeshift classroom and teach them amateur radio and all kinds of various things that they could use to incorporate that into their STEM programs. So not, and I like that because it's not just teaching amateur radio. It's how you can use amateur radio in your day-to-day life, which is oddly enough, I don't think people necessarily see it. They just see it as a hobby, or they see it as emergency communications, but the troubleshooting skills, problem solving, things like that you have to do to be able to do these things kind of helps you, I think, in the long run. So if you can, please donate. And let's the goal, I think, this year is to exceed $7,000 in donations. So Kyle has a PayPal link and a Venmo set up, and I'll I think, let me see here, notes. So there's a link I just put in the chat to donate. If you want to donate on site, cash is king. There's no problems with cash. So we're really excited. I am looking for it. It's been great the last couple of years that I've been there for this. There's also going to be raffles, things like that throughout the day, giveaways, stuff. So there'll be other opportunities to donate, or maybe walk home with something too. So good deal there. Let's see what else we got. This kind of flew under the radar a little bit. If you weren't looking for it, or if you weren't on Jason's mailing list. Speaking of mailing list, up in the top corner, there's a link, QR code for my mailing list. Get signed up, let you know what's going on, things like that, videos. If I find discount codes, things that, or sometimes people reach out to me and do that. If it's a product I like, enjoy, use, and there's a discount code, I'm going to share it with people. So, but there's a Ham Radio 2.0 dinner and live stream. It's going to be held at the Gigaparts. It is a paid dinner. I think Josh accidentally said just show up last night, but before he realized it was a paid event. So it's about $50, but it's a catered meal and everything like that. So a little pricey from that standpoint, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. But it is at the Gigaparts, I believe. What says the Sony Lounge, Sony Creative Lounge inside of Gigaparts. It is capped at 100 people. There was some VIP stuff, and those tickets I think are already sold out. So I don't know how many VIP there were. And there was some additional stuff that went along with the door prices and grab bags and stuff like that. So doors open 5:30 Central Time. Dinner served at 6 p.m. They're going to do live stream at 6:30 to 7:30, and door prizes after 7:30 p.m. And it'll be an event. So if you have not been to Gigaparts, it's a neat place. Guys, go check out the bathrooms. There's yeah, they capped at 100 people. When I actually, we can just look here real quick. Okay, it does not say how many general admission tickets are left. I know the VIPs are sold out. So there is that. The 4 days in August, and that's the event that Steve, temporarily offline, is promoting, and that is a anti-forum. And by anti-forum, it is a designed to be hands-on. So there will be all kinds of projects and things like that. So I'm going to put a link to that in the chat later here. So if you scroll down and key to this thing here, scroll right for prices. So there is an extra column in here if there are anything. So some of these require materials, parts, things like that. So if there is a cost, like build the V-Check kit right now. So Tom, Whiskey Alpha 2, India Victor Delta will be doing this presentation. It will be a hands-on build thing. So there's a $20 cost of that for the materials kit, and you would just purchase that right there. Choke building, Eric, Whiskey Echo 4, Echo Papa Sierra will be building chokes, and so $50 in materials for that. Shane says he's got a step here. Thank you very much, Shane, for stopping in this morning, and we will see you next week down in Monsanto. So all kinds of cool things. There are days here. Most of these are at the pavilion there on the thing. So each day the pavilion is a rented thing, and the rent, the cover, the cost of that has been covered by some people, and I'm sure Jim will talk about that a little bit more on his Monday stream. I'm not exactly sure who the group was, but it has been donated. With that comes 75, I think, parking passes. So there is a fee to go into the property. Alabama, and I would check the Alabama Parks site when you go in. Let them know that you're there for the event at the thing, and I think they'll deduct one of the parking passes from that list of 75. But if you are and 75 number is just the number of seats that they have in there. We can hold more people there. If you are a veteran, active duty, reservist, a veteran, they will they waive the fees for the park access, which is nice. And I'm sure there's some other groups in there too. I don't know if it's like first responders, stuff like that. So with appropriate ID, here in Indiana, they put a little mark on your driver's license. I also have a card from the VA, so that'll cover it. But so every day there's something going on, but make sure you scroll to the right. There is going to be the Signals Museum, and make sure you check this website too, because I'm assuming these dates and stuff like that and times will be updated. The Signal Museum is an awesome place, and it's just off the mountain in town. And we went last year and went through, and we had a because of the size of the group, and I don't know if they cap the number of people that they'll take through in a controlled, an organized group. So make sure you get down there early for that, and maybe there's enough people they break it up into a couple. But that was a really fun thing, and a lot of history, and it's more than just amateur radio. I mean, it's commercial radio, it's TV, it's anything that puts out a signal. There's telegraphs, there's actual telegraph station setup, so you can send stuff between them in the way that the actual telegraph operators did it, not dits and das, but clicks and clacks, and that's kind of interesting. And then there's all kinds of things throughout. The astrophotography one that Todd is going to be doing is going to be interesting too. And I believe there is a outdoor area up alongside or adjacent the campground. So most of these have dates and times. But, and then one last thing is, let me see here, is the Meshtastic situation. So a lot of people will have Meshtastic and Mesh Core set up. So I'm assuming there will be a lot of that. Won't be hard to find, but specifically with let's see here. With Meshtastic, Rob, Digital Rancher, has set up thing for the event. Huntsville, they do not put out a special firmware like they do for Dayton and Orlando. So Rob has kind of set up a Huntsville Ham Fest. There's a couple rooms for the YouTube one and the Huntsville Ham Fest proper. Meshtastic is pretty big in the Huntsville area. So I'd recommend, if you've got more than one Meshtastic node, keep one just the standard setup. Get involved with the community down there, but also have a second one that is specific to the Hamfest. The QR code is here. It'll be out. I'll put it on my website, and actually, if you're signed up for the email list, I'm going to send this image out later today on there. But if you scan the QR code with your phone, it will set your device specifically to this. If you already have something special set up, make sure you save those settings, so when you come back, you can do that. And you might have to have two clients. I know Rob has done some stuff where he can separate on an Android phone and actually run two separate installs. I use a couple different clients, third-party clients that I've got that will allow you to attach separate devices. But this would set up the official Meshtastic client. with this information here. So you can do it by hand or whatever, but the big thing, client mute, we don't need everybody's trackers trying to rebroadcast stuff, because that will cause a lot of congestion. Rebroadcasting local only, so anything that would come in like through MQTT, and I know Rob said he's going to attach his node to his MQTT server back at the ranch in Texas, so it rebroadcasts what we've got going up out to the internet, but we don't want the stuff from the internet coming back down. It's going to set your modem to short fast. Once again, with so many people in an ad hoc environment, we need just the quick, fast data going out there, not the long extended retries and stuff like that. Hop limit 3, so it's going to leave your node. It's going to bounce off a few more, and if they haven't gotten it by then, it's going to expire, and then obviously it's going to ignore MQTT. So that is that in a nutshell. So that's everything. Once again, get signed up for my email list. I will be sending all this stuff out today, and we'll go from there. Let's see. Cooley says he's there till Saturday. Bring a rain gear. That's, you know what, I've got some frog togs that I keep in the back of the Bronco for when I'm out wheeling anyway. So I have that. The only problem with rain gear down south when it's 127% humidity is that 127% humidity gets captured inside your rain gear. So good stuff. Alan Ray 8013 checking in this morning. Good morning, Alan. John checking in this morning. John says he doesn't have any noise for a change on a Sunday morning by his house. It's good stuff. It's all right. Well, let's get on the air here. Clear out some of this stuff. Let me add my radio into the system here. All right. Because we're in the truck, we're going to be running with the 891 and the ATOS. And let's share a screen. All right, so once again, using the new Halo. And I'm running it on the Mac. So next edition of Polo, I'm sure everybody has seen it by now. Still in the alpha stage. So if you go to the Ham2K Discord and reach out to Sebastian if you're interested in doing some testing and everything like that. So he'll get you in the program right now. So far, I mean, obviously it's a rewrite of Polo. So a lot of the bugs are kind of worked out anyway. So it's going pretty smoothly, at least from my perspective as an end user. I can't say that for Sebastian. I don't know, but let's see if it picks up my GPS. And it may be disabled. So, but I am EM69. I think I'm in SI right now, but close enough. 4215. Okay. And once again, beta program, so could always be an issue there. So not sweating it. Let's see here. Close that. Let me go into the setup here real quick. Station configuration. So cat control. So I'm going to go ahead and shows connected and 50 megs, so 6 meters. So that part looks good. There was some new stuff in here I saw last week. Tracking station for each QSO. So it's going to use whatever information you've got in there, which is kind of nice. Most of the other stuff is going to stay the same. Obviously, I'm using Cloud Sync, so I pay a subscription, which covers the cost of the storage and the linking and everything like that. It's nice because every Ham2K product that I use, Polo for my phone or my tablet or my if I'm on a Jenkapotamus or iPad, or Android tablet, all of those devices, all my logs get pushed up to a single place, and it's extended too, which is nice. So let's go ahead and try some stuff here. So actually, let's go 7200. So if I just type in the frequency and I hit go, you can see it switch the radio over to 7200, and it is on lower sideband. Now, something that I've noticed popped up this time around with using the cat control and Polo, and it's not a bad thing. It's just different from me. You'll notice in past when you hand typed it in, you put your frequency in, it didn't really distinguish upper sideband from lower sideband. It just was phone or SSB, and I kind of prefer it that way. I think most people realize the only separation from that is I also use AM too. So, but in here, because it's reading it right off the radio, it does capture LSB. So when I go to actually I'll swing the camera here. Watch the grass grow with the antenna. Is the frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. is the frequency in use. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. So some of the stuff is already in Polo, so it's not a big deal. But you can type in QRV. It's going to go ahead and spot you. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo Echo 0, Mike Alpha Delta.
Kilo Echo 0, Mike Alpha Delta. Good morning, 59 plus.
Morning, Tim. I got you 5-7 in Missouri. Good to hear you.
Copy the 5-7 in the Missouri, Sean. Thank you very much for the contact. 73, my friend.
Yeah, 73.
All right, thank you. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. Tickfaw State Park. That's interesting. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. Kilo Echo 6, Golf Alpha Echo. Dave, good morning, 5-5.
Hey, good morning, Tim. I've got you 5-7 into my cockpit this morning.
I copied 5-7 into Missouri, my friend. Thank you for the contact in 73. All righty, thank you. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. All right, let's go ahead and switch to hunting real quick. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, going QRT. So also with this QRT, I can do that, and it just now updated it, and we'll see that my spot just dropped out. And one of the other nice things, and I really love this, especially with the cat control now, is that you can just click your spot and it takes you right there. So, and in this case, it already dropped in the operator's call sign, and it linked the park and everything to the QSO, which is nice. And that makes it easier. So now all I have to do is tune. And, obviously because I'm using the ATOS, in this case, the Q is not super wide in it. I mean, if I had a fixed antenna, like, like an infed half wave or something like that, I'd have a wide range. I wouldn't have to reach over and tune every time, but definitely doable. So here's one that's interesting right there. 243, November 4, Tango Romeo Delta. That's Max. Guy's out all the time. And I'm going to go ahead and select that real quick. So as you saw here, both call signs showed up and it linked the park. So let's go ahead and.
sounds awesome. 5-9 plus here in QSL. Thanks, buddy. Have a great Sunday, 7:30. CQ Parks on air, CQ Parks on air, CQ Parks on air. This is November 4, Tango Romeo Delta. And Kilo Romeo 4, Mike Alpha X-ray. QRZ.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, park to park.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Tim, how are you, buddy? You're 5'9", 5'9". Two parks. And Rhonda's here. Let me know if you need the 2 parks, and let me know when you're ready for Rhonda.
Roger. Copy the 5'9". You're also 5'9". And by the way, I'm live streaming right now. So you guys are on at the, what is this here? You want to check it out. Roughly the 51-minute mark of the stream. I've got 12320. What was your other park number?
Uncle Sam 6877. Uncle Sam 6877. QSL.
I copied Uncle Sam 6877 is the second park, and I'm ready for your second operator.
Good morning, Tim. It's Rhonda. You sound great. You are 5'9" here in November QSL.
Hey, good morning, Rhonda. I copied the 5'9". You are also 5'9" here in my park, US 4215.
Say that one more time, please.
You're 5'9", 59 into my park, US 4215.
4215. Morgan Monroe State Forest, QSL.
QSL, my friend.
Rog, thanks, Grayman. You have a great live stream. Hello, everybody. 7-3.
All right, Sam. Hey, real quick, are you going to be in Huntsville?
Yeah, we're going to be in Huntsville. I'll probably be camping across from you again.
Sounds good. Let's hook up and get some coffee and have a little conversation.
Roger, I'll make it on my to-do list, buddy. And see you in 4 days.
All right, sounds good. Have a great day and a great activation today, guys. 73.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks for the Park 7-3. This is November 4, Tango Romeo Delta with Kilo Romeo 4, Mike Alpha X-ray QRZ.
All right, so obviously doing that, linked both call signs, 2 parks. Love it. So let's just keep going down the list here.
Whiskey 2, Eagle. Hello, Mike. Yes, we're going to go 5-7 both ways, sir. 5-7 both ways. Sound good coming in Ohio. 33 team, my friend. Thanks for having me. This is KAPTP. Sure then.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, park to park.
November station?
Yeah, good morning, Ed. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, NW9F.
That's November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, is that right?
QSL.
What's your park number?
My park is US 4215, 4215.
Okay, so November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, US 4215.
QSL, my friend.
I got 5-5 on you in my park, US 9502.
I copied 5-5, and you're also 5-5 here in my park, US 4215, and I copied 9502.
9502, QSL.
All right, sounds good, my friend. Have a great activation today in 73.
73, my friend. Good luck with the activation. This is KAPTP with QRZ.
Doesn't sound like we're getting easy on this morning.
US 0289. Appreciate your patience. You have a blessed weekend. 73 tomorrow. We have 5 p.m.
I don't think Arkansas is coming into obviously the ones that have shown up in green here are the ones I've already logged. So they're my favorite 20-meter frequency. So I typed in 14300, took the radio there. I'm going to go ahead and tune really quick. And my spotting has already switched over, which is nice. Let's see if we can find a. So anything about 3 through 3 is open.
Albert.
Is the frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Is the frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Is the frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. All right, respotting myself. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. You can have my ring. That's all it's done is ring for the last month. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo Bravo 5 uniform.
Kilo Bravo 5 uniform Tango Yankee. Dave, good morning. You are 5555. Kilo Bravo 5 uniform Tango Yankee. Dave, 55. Dave, I heard you in there, buddy. You're right, dropping right into my noise floor, but got the contact. I think you said 55, but we'll just leave it at that. Hey, have a great day. We'll see you here in a couple days, my friend. And 73. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. Sounds like somebody else is in there now. I'll just go ahead and QRT it again. What the heck? I'm gonna scroll down the list here. Oh, it's not there before.
Echo, you're a 5-9, and in my park, US 1894, David. Thanks for that. 5-9 from Mike Oscar. You have a great day. Hold on to you. Station Indian Tango, Quebec.
It's gonna be a long one about.
Niner Tango, Quebec. Joseph, you're a 5-9, and in my park, US 1894. I'll be the 5-5 in the Chicago. Thanks for having me down today, and 7-3.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, park to park.
Kilo Quebec 4, uniform, Romeo QSL. Copy the 5-5 into Kentucky, my home state, visiting down here in Florida. You're a 5-9 this morning. QSL. Okay. And QSL.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, park to park.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot QSL.
QSL, my friend, you are 5-5, 55 into my park, US 4215, 4215.
You are a 5-7 into my park, US 1894.
Roger, Roger, Leo. Thank you for the contact this morning. Have a great activation in 73.
I appreciate you. You have a great activation up there. This is Kilo Quebec 4.
I really love this feature of being able to just zip through the spots. Makes it nice. So one of the other features I really like is being able to now separate the panes and be able to have more than just one up, or everything just used to be up in here. So you can move these however you want and shift them around, which is nice. And if you wanted to put spots down here and maybe separate info, so you can move the info up there, map, and then it's broke out, clock down here. So maybe it's spots. So we've got our log. We've got the information of the other station. Turn it down for a second. We've got our spot. So in this case, because I'm hunting, I can take advantage of just being able to do the one touch, and taking me right to the frequency. Got my UTC clock down here. I don't have to use it. If I want to run just my local time zone, here it is. It's 10:05 now, and we can take seconds in and out. And I think there's some settings there if I want an analog clock. And I kind of like the digital better. It's just my 2 cents. I think we've run the gamut there. It's 28,300. All right, Kyle. Have a fun, eventful trip. I went to Sam's Club yesterday, and I wanted to. I felt the need for violence. So I can only imagine Costco is probably the same. Jody says analog clocks, so the millennials can go retro. Yeah, you know, I tell you what, man, I got 2 young kids, and I make sure they know how to read an analog clock. I think that's very important to do that. So, and you can. That was another thing. I just noticed this. You can actually, because it's a multi window, multi whatever they call it, window here. You can adjust that. You can also adjust. Looks like this window here. So if you want you don't need to see the entire log, just the last couple contacts. That you want more information on your queue, you can do that. So I really love what Sebastian's done with this. And I know 3 weeks ago or so, I did this, and I did an activation with the Jankopotamus. And that's one of those Celeron 150. It's like an N150 process. I don't know. It's designed to run on 12 volts. So, which is great for us. It's great for logging. And, you can do some FT8 and some WinLink and things like that with the radio. So it does that, but I wouldn't expect it to do more than 2 things at the same time. So, but you can do it. Now I know Sebastian has talked about doing some inter-network linking between a couple devices, which is also something that I'm kind of interested in. And when you're contesting a working field day and stuff like that, a lot of times they have 2 operators working the station. One, managing the PTT and doing the on-air stuff, and a second person doing the logging. And being able to link one instance together in the so side by side. So those 2 stations are controlling one log, but then those logs are uploading into a site type database, and being able to do that locally too, which was kind of a neat feature and everything. So I don't see anybody on 10 meters. There's 6 stations on 15, but they're not on phone. What is 17? What's 17 look like? Huh. Back to my favorite 40 meter frequency here. I recognize that call sign.
QSL Doug got you a 5.8 in Maryland, Lake Delta. Thank you for the activation. 73.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get...
Oscar, if that's QSL there, but I'm going to send you a 5-3. Over.
Hey, Russ on the 5-3. You're 5-5 in Georgia. Y'all Alpha.
All right. Thanks for the 55 out of Georgia. You have a great Sunday. Thank you for hunting 7-3.
What's your activation? 7-3.
This is Alpha Alpha 4 Sierra Sierra, Parks on the Air, North Carolina, QRZ.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, park to park.
Kilowatt 2, Charlie Bravo, November. Good morning, Alan. 5-7 into the park. All right, I got 56, Alan. Thanks for hunting. Have a great day in 7-3. AA4SS, Parks on the Air, QRZ.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, park to park.
I got a station beginning with November.
Tim, good morning. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, NW9F.
I think I heard the M7, but then I lost you. So let's try one more time, please.
Call sign November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot.
I believe I got November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger, my friend. You are 55 into my park, US 4215, 4215.
All right, I got it. Park 4215 there and a 5-5. Yeah, I got you about a 4-5, a 4-5. And I have two more park numbers for you. Are you ready?
I am ready to copy. I have 12320.
Okay, yep. I'm also at 4577. That's 4577 for the second park. QSL.
I copied 4577 for the second park.
All right, and my third park and final park is 6918. That's 6918. Over.
And for the third park, I copied 6918, my friend. Hey, Tim, have a great activation today in 73.
All right, Tim, you do the same, buddy, and good luck. 7-3. All right, this Alpha 4 Sierra Sierra. I'm camping here, and the wife just plopped some breakfast down in front of me, so we're going to go QRT for just a...
All righty. Well, I think I've thoroughly explored that today. So one thing I liked to do, and that's not quite set up, and maybe there's a way to do it. I don't know, but in the Polo, there's a button that you can hit that would take your map out to full screen and take up the entire thing, so we could go over it. That is not incorporated yet, but here's the distribution. And today we did 8 cues, 26 minutes, 6 on 40 meters and 2 on 20 meters, 12 QSOs for the activations. I don't know how that seems to be recording a little bit differently than Polo, and I don't know if they're treating each park as a separate contact. I don't know. I'll see when the log gets pushed up and how it's managed. It might always have been that way. I don't know. I don't necessarily pay attention to it. I take the log and I push it up. Hey, good morning, Eric. Eric's checking in. Bands are kind of funky now. I was out here last night, so I was activating after 8 p.m. So I'm not concerned about today. It won't be a air quote failed activation, but yeah. Let's go ahead and get rid of this on-screen stuff here. So that is this week's update on Halo. I am excited. This is my my week vacation I'm taking from work, and this week has been it's been a very long week. I'm down a person, and we've got a new guy that starts on Monday, and I won't be there, so we'll see how that goes. But looking forward. But this week alone, we lost communication circuits. We had a fire that affected some of the stuff at one of our facilities. There's tons of rain here in central Indiana. I think the White River, which is the big river that goes through Indianapolis and all that, and north of Indianapolis, crested. So there's been widespread flooding and problems. And a couple of my facilities are in those affected areas, and in one of them actually we had water with it where it was coming down the stairwell, and water collecting under the deck in our data center, which was a whole nother nightmare. I had to get people raced up there to deal with that and stuff. So it has just been a heck of a week, and I am looking forward to turning the phone off and going and getting away and exploring technology in a different way, not necessarily tied to work. But all right, I'm going to get out of here. Tomorrow morning, I'm heading out, probably about 8 o'clock. All-Star 43136 is Jason's node. I put a video up last week. If you don't have an All-Star node, but you can connect in, you need to create an account with All-Star so you can log in. But you can, there's a couple different apps, and I'll send that out today in my email, just as a reminder. A couple different software apps that you can put on your phone to connect into the All-Star network if you don't have a physical node, and do that. Those work pretty well. Jody says Sebastian's coming out with some really cool stuff now that he's focused on this, and I agree. And he's got more time to do it. So that's a side note. He's trying to. He was a full-time developer. He's trying to step out on his own and do this. And so, buy me a coffee or other ways that he's got to donate. I recommend doing that. Doesn't take much, but every little bit helps. And he's trying to do that. But yeah, All-Star. I'll be heading out Monday morning, probably about 8 o'clock. I'm going to stop and do some POTAs along the way. Nothing specific. I'm just going to try to find ones that are right along the interstate, and really use that more as a opportunity to take a break, get out for a little bit, stretch, have some lunch. And if I can make some contacts while I'm doing it, I will. Last year I tried to really focus on getting, parks and getting one of those Rover Awards, and that turned into being something that I got it done, but it was frustrating because I would get to a park and then it would be crickets on the band or whatever, or trying to find a place to park was another one. I drove all the way around a nature preserve, and there was absolutely no place for you to park. Like, well, how the hell are you supposed to utilize it as a person? But yeah, there wasn't even like a little pull off where you could park, and then you couldn't technically enter the wildlife area, which that was another one. Don't understand, but it's a POTA park nonetheless. But yeah, so I'll be there tomorrow night in Huntsville. So if you are camping throughout the week, stop by. Once again, every morning I will have coffee on, probably throughout the day too. If anybody is wanting coffee, it will be there. So we'll see you guys. Let's have a great ham fest, and we will talk to everybody later. 73.